Freestyle Travel. Hey everybody, kenflannery here. I am your host of the Freestyle Travel Show. I am in Laughlin, Nevada at the moment. And in this episode, I'm going to catch you up on what has happened since Shreveport, Louisiana, where I was last. I hitchhiked pretty much across the country, I guess, halfway across the country you could say, from there to here, with some stops in between. A little bit of Dallas, a little bit of New Mexico, a little bit of Arizona, and now Nevada. Got some cool stuff coming up, and it was a cool trip. Hitched a lot of good rides, so that's what I'm going to tell you about. Just a little reminder, I got no ads on here. It's just a fun podcast, but if you do want to support the things that I'm doing, I've got a Patreon that I just set up recently, and it's going pretty well so far. So that's patreon.com/kenflannery if you want to support the things I'm doing, including this show, including my show about beer and travel, all the different stuff I'm writing about, all that junk. That's how you can do it. It's pretty fun. I've been doing like behind the scenes kind of director's commentary on my hopping show, the beer show. That's been kind of neat. And some other just stuff that I'm only posting there, pictures and stories. So yeah, you can get that all there. As far as the hopping show goes, that's been coming along. Any of you guys who've been watching on YouTube, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying it. It's the show where I'm hitchhiking to breweries, and let me take a sip of beer. This is homebrew, actually. I just brewed in Phoenix, which I'll get to. It's a pineapple hazy IPA with about 15 ounces of hops for a 5-gallon batch. Pretty damn good. Snuck a couple bottles over here, hitchhiked with them. So, what was that? Hopping, yeah. Up to 6 episodes posted on there. Posting episode 7 on Tuesday. Just posting new episodes every Tuesday, so keep checking that out. I hope you dig it. I got more to say about that here in a bit. Yeah, but as you can see, I'm in Laughlin. Pretty all right, as you can see. The people who are watching, those of you who are listening, I got another free hotel room, which is conveniently how I can do these podcasts so easily when I get these free rooms. This one just happens to overlook the river with a bunch of people out on jet skis and stuff. So that's been pretty cool. It's been up here mostly editing video, but I'll get into all that I've been doing. And yeah, screw it. Let's just jump in. Let you hear about the hitchhiking adventure from Louisiana to Nevada. Let's do it. All right, so yeah, last time I talked to you guys, I was in Shreveport, staying at a free hotel room there too, just taking full advantage of the system, basically. All the casinos, all the Caesars casinos, they keep sending me emails and stuff, so I'm gonna keep using it if I can use the free rooms. So I was there in Shreveport, or technically right over the river from it. And I had just gone to every brewery in Mississippi in 24 hours, did that little mission, that was fun. And decided, yeah, I was gonna head on west. So took advantage of the free room and then had to get moving. My kind of goal was to see a friend in Phoenix in the short term. So I got moving, and then I realized that Dallas was not too far and I had a friend there. So I'm like, let me see if I can drop in on him. So that's what I did. First, I took a free bus across Shreveport. Buses are free now as of this year. I don't know why, but whatever. So that saved me probably a couple hours of walking, at least, I guess, just to get across the city in like 30 minutes on the public bus. So that was cool. Hitched a couple rides, first from a guy who plays basketball for one of the islands out there. I forget, but he plays basketball around the world. That was pretty cool. And then another dude dropped me off in Dallas. Then I caught up with my buddy there. Yeah, just kind of hung out, took it easy, got a few good beers, spent the night there with him and his girlfriend, and then, yeah, the next morning, hit a couple more breweries. Another sip of beer there. Hit a couple breweries with him, checked out like a video game museum, just randomly took me to. That was cool. And then he dropped me off actually on the far side of Fort Worth, which was a extra bonus, so I didn't have to kind of like finagle my way across Dallas and Fort Worth. That can be obnoxious hitchhiking, trying to hitchhike through the sludge of a big mega city, twin cities in that case. So he dropped me off there. I got a quick ride in a pickup truck, kind of short. Then a box truck picked me up. These two guys, they didn't speak English all that well. My Spanish is rusty, but they gave me some pizza and some Coca-Cola, and we cruised along. And then I got a ride from an 18-wheeler, and he was going a ways. And just looking at the map, I realized I could take a detour and go to like Carlsbad, New Mexico. And one of my brother's friends, now one of my friends, has been living out there for a while and has like a family brewery out there, more or less. And I was like, he's been telling me to check it out for some years. And I'm like, what time is better than now? So ditched out, I forget the name of the town, somewhere on I-10, I guess, or not even I-10 yet, I-20 from the truck driver. I got out there and started walking and didn't get a ride. It got dark on me, so I slept under like this overpass bridge kind of situation in the middle of kind of nowhere, so which is kind of nice because there wasn't just like traffic all night. Decent little spot. Kept hitchhiking in the morning and got 3 or 4 kind of short rides, but steady rides, nice rides. The first guy gave me a ride to like a gas station, got us breakfast burritos. We sat and had breakfast together. That was cool. He handed me a cigar just randomly, just something he had and wanted to give me something. So I was like, cool. I haven't smoked it yet, so that'll be good. But yeah, just kept bouncing along ride after ride. Finally got to Carlsbad from an oil worker. Dropped me off there. He went out of his way a little bit to get me there. Another sip of beer. Damn, this is good. Yeah, kept it moving and met up with my buddy at the brewery, Guadalupe Mountain Brewery. You should check it out. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. Just because, you know, it's a friend and it's his family brewery and like, yeah, maybe it'll be good. It was just in New Mexico, and I've had some good beers from New Mexico, but it was just, yeah, not what I just was expecting. Okay, this will just be like kind of fun, but it was actually good, like legit good. Every beer I had was solidly made. I was impressed. And good pizza there too. So altogether a good experience, and really just hanging out with my buddy was super cool. Back to his place with the rest of the family and just like kind of kicking it. Telling stories and stuff, got some good sleep, and then, yeah, got moving. Oh, I haven't seen that boat yet. It's like ferries cutting across the river to Bullhead City and whatever that boat is. It's kind of a cool view up here. I'm glad I got this room. But yeah, he dropped me off in the morning to start hitchhiking towards Phoenix at this point. Didn't really have anything on my mind in between there and Phoenix. So I got moving. The first ride I got was really cool. It was this couple, and they were going to like Cloudcroft-ish kind of area. Well, that was the name of the brewery that we stopped at. They're like, hey, you hungry? You want to get a beer? I'm like, you're talking to the right guy here. So we went and, yeah, they were just a cool couple. Got me, they were going to look at a house or something. That's what was happening. Oh, yeah, actually, they were going to look at a house. They dropped me off. And then like 20 minutes later, they came back and they're like, the dude isn't there. Do you want to go to this brewery? Which they had already mentioned. So I was like, hell yeah. So went in, got a pizza, got a flight of beers. Enjoyed that. And then, yeah, kept hitchhiking. I got another couple little rides until I was almost to Las Cruces. And then this guy dropped me off in Las Cruces. And then I'm walking there on the highway, and not too far from Phoenix at this point. Well, still many, many hours away, but just like, I don't know, to me, not that far. I can see it almost, you know, like whatever. To me, it's like Tucson's the next big city, and then Phoenix, more or less. But this girl stops in the highway and picks me up, and as soon as I'm like opening the door, and she's like, great, 2 heads are better than 1. You can help me get gas. I was like, oh, I've had this kind of ride once or twice before. And as I'm getting in the car, like I'm stoked as hell because I'm getting a ride. And I'd been walking for a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, I know what this means. I'm gonna be going slow. But again, I'm not in a hurry, so I wasn't too worried about it. And it kind of panned out the way I thought. She was traveling across the country without any money, just panhandling for gas. So whenever she started to run out of gas, and people do this, some people call it jugging, some people just call it panhandling. But yeah, you stop at a gas station and you ask people for gas. And I've gotten rides like this a couple times at least, a few times. Another sip of beer. There was one in Reno, which was just, man, that was kind of a funny one. We were not moving quickly, I will say that. And similar with this girl, and she wanted me to help out, which is fair, like asking people for gas, but like, I don't do any panhandling. Like, I've never done any panhandling on my own accord. You know, I've never, if I make a cardboard sign, it's got a destination on it, not a story or a need for money. People have obviously like handed me money, taken me to breweries, been generous with me, but I'm never out there like walking up to people and saying like, hey, can you help us out with gas? So I don't know. For whatever reason, I can be like a pretty outgoing person sometimes, but that just, I don't know, it's a little bit awkward to me. So I let her kind of go first, and I told her, I was like, I don't know, let me watch you like do your thing first and then I'll do it. So the first time we stopped, right away, first person she walked up to like filled up her, I think it was like a 2-gallon jug of gas or something like that. Then I walked up to someone, and I think just my awkwardness and my like whatever showed through, and like they're like, I don't, you know, they came up with some story. So we just started moving like that, just getting like a couple gallons of gas at a time. One time we got ran off from a place, sort of, they were nice enough, but I was the one with the jug and I was talking, and probably because I was looking awkward and standing out as such, like someone from the gas station drove up to me and they're like, hey, you can't be doing this here, but you can go across the street. Like, they were super nice, but they just didn't want me on the property doing that. Let me fill up some more beer here. So yeah, we were going pretty slow, but like I said, I wasn't in a rush to get to Phoenix, and I knew my buddy was doing stuff anyways. Like, there was no reason for me to get to Phoenix that night anyways. Like, I probably should not have. So I was kind of cool with it. We got just shy of Tucson, and it was dark at this point, and even she was just like, when it's dark, it's like, it's basically over, which is like the same with hitchhiking. Like, yes, you can get a ride, and she's like, yes, you can get gas, but people are just a little bit more like cautious at night and just like get the heebie-jeebies, scared of the dark kind of thing. Man, I love watching all these jet skiers out here. Anyways, so we stopped, and there was no one at this gas station pretty much. The cool thing was she had a CB radio, and she said it hadn't worked yet, but she would get on there and ask for gas. Like, she would roll up to a gas station, she'd be like, hey, I'm the one in the, I can't even remember what her vehicle looks like, but she would describe her vehicle and say, if anyone can help me out with gas, like, come on over. So she would do that, and she would just play with the CB radio like normal people would, just driving down the road too. But I think that's how it happened this time, because some guy came out of the woodwork and was just like, let me help you out, and he was Reverend something or other. He had a whole thing going on. I wish I could remember the spot that he was at, because he was like trying to get attention for whatever he was doing out there in the desert. But yeah, he's like, let me cash app you or something. So he managed to put like 30 bucks into the tank or something, quite a bit, which was like, she thought it was going to be enough to get us to Phoenix, but I was pretty sure it was going to be just shy, which was the case. So we actually got through Tucson, and then we ended up camping about, I don't know, an hour from Phoenix, less than 100 miles, you know? So just pulled out into a dirt lot, and she had some tent she pulled out, and it was way too windy for her tent, so she ended up sleeping in the car. I slept in my bivvy, of course, and, you know, got a little bit of sleep. Woke up, there's a gas station nearby. So again, at first we were like standing on the corner with a sign looking for gas. Some truck driver gave her like $2. Like, we stood at a Walmart the day before. Like, we did all the things. She's been doing this for, what did she say? A while, over 10 years, since she was, pretty much since she was 18. She more or less ran away from home. Like, let's take another sip of beer there. But has just been living out of her car for, yeah, over a decade. and panhandling has been kind of her thing. She was going to Phoenix herself to become a truck driver. Her boyfriend was a truck driver, and now she wanted to become one, so no more panhandling once that happens, I guess. So, yeah, we get to the gas station, and yep, somebody gives us a tank of gas, or fills up the jug with enough to get to Phoenix. So we get on our way, and as soon as we roll into Phoenix, we stop at a McDonald's. I don't have phone service anymore. I just kind of cut it off just to save money. But I still have a phone number and can text on Wi-Fi, so we stopped at a McDonald's, and just lucky timing, right when we got there, my buddy Larry was just dropping someone off at the airport, so he was really close by to where we were at. So he picked me up in like 10 minutes, which is cool because she was starting to talk to there's like a local, like 3 or 4 people there who looked like they had done some panhandling too, and she was just, I don't know, strategizing, and she was on the phone with her boyfriend talking about staying at his sister's place, and he clearly was not into that. I don't know, it just seemed like there's a whole another story about to unfold that I didn't quite want to be a part of. So yeah, cut loose, and yeah, that's how I got to Phoenix. And Phoenix was a blast, you know. I wanted to get some more video editing done, which I definitely accomplished while I was there for those hopping episodes that are coming out. So I was tackling that, and my buddy's really into beer too, particularly when I'm over there in Phoenix. So we were just drinking like really good beers, and he's got a homebrew set up, so we decided to brew some beer. So actually first we brewed a beer that I have not drank, and that was basically a big old stout that's gonna be like a Bananas Foster stout. It's gonna be probably 10 to 12%. We'll see how it all ends up, but with like some banana flavor, some rum-soaked oak chips, a little bit of cinnamon, vanilla. It should be fucking amazing, actually. It tasted amazing. When it started fermenting, it was smelling amazing. He just added the oak chips a couple days ago. But yeah, after we brewed that one, we decided, oh, let's, you know, Kvike yeast, which is just like super yeast. I don't need to geek out about that with y'all, but it's a yeast that makes beer ferment quicker, I'll just say, for this. So with that, we were able to brew a beer and be drinking it less than 6 days later. That's this beer here. Which is awesome, because the reason I brew big stouts normally is because I love stouts, but also if I brew it, that means if I don't get to see my friend or family, whoever I brew with, for months or even a year or more, the beer's probably still going to be good, if not better, hopefully. But an IPA, you got to drink right away. And with this yeast, to be able to fire out a beer that can be drank within 5 days before I left town was incredible. So cheers to that. So, brewed that beer, was drinking that beer, hanging out, talking about opening a brewery maybe, that's in the cards. But yeah, just having a good time in Phoenix, and then deciding kind of where to go next. And I was thinking I should start heading, I don't know, well, I got to keep editing is the thing. My editor for the show has kind of just been flaky at best. Like, it's, you know, a year ago, we were filming that hopping show. A year ago. I expected all the episodes to be like out September or October last year. And instead, yeah, it's just been flaky. So I don't even have the episode that's coming out in like a couple weeks, for example. And once he sends it to me, it's not going to be actually done like it was supposed to be. It's going to be full of holes and other stuff, and I have to finish it. Which means I need to be somewhere where I can like keep my head down. So this is one of those places. A free room for 5 nights in Laughlin, Nevada, where there's absolutely nothing going on. I mean, there's this river, and there's people out there, but I can't afford to be on a jet ski. And if I walk downstairs, it's mostly, I don't know, nothing going on. There's a casino, but it's not like Vegas, where there's like people my age out and about jumping. There's hardly anywhere to even eat around here on the cheap. So what I mean to say by all that is, like, there's no reason for me to be anywhere than this table right here, either talking to you guys and making this podcast, or working on the editing for the video and just looking outside and watching the river, smiling and being happy. And yeah, that's why I'm here. So I'll tell you where I'm going next, which involves some more of this kind of action and a lot more fun stuff. Jeez, I feel like every time I end one of these podcasts, it's like, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Oh, but I do have some cool stuff lined up. I got some really cool stuff lined up for the next couple days and the next week. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. All right, let me jump into that section while I pour some beer. All right, so yeah, here in Laughlin. Tonight's actually the last night here, and I'm hitchhiking to Vegas tomorrow, which is almost exactly 100 miles north. Same deal. I got 5 free nights there at a Harrah's. This is a Harrah's in Laughlin, and I'll be at the Harrah's in Vegas, right on the Strip, for 5 free nights. Yeah, so I've got a lot of editing I gotta squeeze in before I'm done, because when I leave Vegas, I know I'm gonna be, I'll get to that, not being able to edit for at least several days. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. All right, so I just the last time I was in Vegas, I was looking at, like, wow, a lot of new breweries have popped up. Some of you may know that I filmed at Able Baker Brewing in Vegas. If you don't, just look up Hopping Able Baker on YouTube, or Kenny Flannery Able Baker, whatever, you'll find it. It's the first brewery I filmed at for my show. And that's when Vegas didn't really have any breweries. And when we decided to film in Vegas, I didn't know that brewery was there yet. And we went there, and they're a world-class, awesome brewery. But anyway, since then, that was 2019, December, that we filmed. But since then, I feel like more breweries have been popping up. So last time I was in Vegas, I was like, damn, there's quite a few I should go to. And I'm like, I could probably walk to like almost a dozen of these in a day as like a little mission. So I thought of that again yesterday. And yeah, just kind of floated it out there, and I'm gonna do it. So today's Friday. I think on Sunday, I got it all mapped out pretty much. There's 12 to 15 breweries, depending on how you look at it, that I can walk to with only 7 miles of walking all day. So that's not bad at all, Actually, super easy. And a lot of that's in the early part of the day. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna film the whole thing and put it on the Hopping channel once the season's done. So that should be really fun. Half the breweries, yeah, at least half the breweries I haven't been to yet. So that'll be really cool. And I think it's gonna be mellow, super easy. One of the later episodes of Hopping coming out from last year, I walked to 28 breweries with John Lovegrove in Portland. That's one of the episodes. And that was reasonably hectic. It wasn't crazy, but it was definitely like, you know, fast walking at times and making sure we got in there and popping in and slamming a beer pretty quick and making sure we were on schedule. I think this is going to be pretty chill because it's only 12 or 15 breweries and the hours are all pretty friendly as far as like opening relatively early, staying open pretty late. So should be chill. Should be able to accomplish my goals and dreams. Another sip of beer there. I like those beer pauses. Makes you reflect on your life, who you are, what you're about. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna hitchhike to Vegas. To be honest, I haven't had great luck. I mean, whatever, decent luck, but like, in terms of my normal, like hitchhiking out of Laughlin, the last couple times I did it, it was like, it just took longer than I thought, like walking for a couple hours. Because it's a straightforward, you look at the map and it's like, there's really nothing between here and Vegas. It's only 100 miles. It's a huge target, it's Vegas. I don't know. I always think it's gonna be a little easier and then it takes a little bit longer to actually get a ride. And it's usually just one ride, maybe 2. But whatever, doesn't matter. I'll get there. Yeah, Sunday I'll do that, and then I'll probably spend the rest of the time just editing as much as possible, just getting it all done. And then I'm gonna go to Salt Lake City, see my buddy Cam. That's all for sure. I reached out to Epic Brewing. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I released their episode, I think it was episode 2 of this season. Went to Epic Brewing and the guy there was like, if you want to come back and film like a follow-up, that'd be really cool. And I'm like, yeah, it would be really cool. So I reached out to him, so I'm gonna see what he says. So maybe I'll film like another episode there. I'm really excited after this season comes out to start putting off like one-off episodes for the hopping channel. Not necessarily like a season where I go from one place to another and put out these episodes, because yeah, I just want it to be continuous. So something like the return to Epic, going to 12 breweries in Vegas in a day, going to every brewery in Mississippi in 24 hours, putting out videos like that, and just kind of doing it myself, relying on myself, because this past season was kind of like, the footage was great, everything turned out pretty good, but like Nick, the guy that I brought with me holding the camera, he just couldn't really hack the travel thing, and eventually just left and like took all my equipment, and it was just a disaster. Like, he wasn't filming any of the travel content, the like hitchhiking part, and that's like the biggest thing people tell me when they watch it. They're like, oh, I wish there was more hitchhiking. I'm like, I do too. We talked about that a lot before we got started, and I told him that a lot as we were going, and that's eventually why he left, because I kept reminding him, hey buddy, we're filming like a documentary here, you might want to document it. And he took that as like criticism and just bailed. So, and now my editor, he's got stuff to do, and he got paid over a year ago, so he doesn't really care, and he doesn't really get the vision of what it is either. So that's why he's sending me whatever he's sending me, and then I gotta finish it up. So I think it's just gonna be better if I just commit to it's me. It's just all me. I know that going in. I know what I want, and yeah, just make cool, fun videos. So I'm gonna do more of that for sure. So I'm trying to get like a bunch of episodes banked, so when this season is over, this Denver to Portland hitchhiking trip, I'll already have like 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 beer videos ready to go. So I'm like consistently putting stuff out on that YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's why Vegas will be fun, and Salt Lake if that happens. So that's the plan. I'll be getting up to Wyoming eventually. My mom's getting married this summer, so maybe I'll head there right after Salt Lake to keep editing, or maybe something else will come up. I don't know. My buddy in Salt Lake was already talking about it's going on like a fishing trip in Idaho. That sounds fucking awesome. So I will likely be going on a fishing trip in Idaho. Why the hell not? Yeah, life is good. That's why I'm saying I'm excited. Oh, it's Friday. That's why there's so many more boats and stuff out here. Some action. Maybe I should try to get out there and make a friend with a boat. Hell yeah. All right, well, yeah, that catches you guys up. Not much more to say. If you're watching this before Sunday, follow the Instagram. What is it? Just, I think Hopping Show. Yeah, at Hopping Show on Instagram. I'll try to post at the breweries like a updating thing as I get to all these breweries. Like I said, I'm Wi-Fi only these days, so while I'm walking I won't have service, but yeah, I'll try to like post updates for at least from every brewery that has Wi-Fi. And obviously I'll be filming this stuff, so eventually it'll get out on the channel, the whole adventure of the day. But it should be fun. All right, you guys, hope you're drinking good beer or doing whatever makes you happy. Traveling, whatever. It's all good. I will see you down the road. I need a new escape. With all my shit straight, I'll get my big brain.